So I got home last night and had a letter in the mail from the United States government, official business only. This is what it said. So support your local family farm. If not, who will support you? Good morning. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Support family farms. First thing I have to do this morning, me and the lunch lady are going to get the cattle off the meadow and off the rye patch. They pretty much ate all the rye that we planted last fall. Get them over into the dirt lot. So we'll have to run a new wire up to the top of the hill. Pound the electric fence posts in first, obviously, then run the wire, then chase all the cows over. It's just me and the lunch lady today doing this. Andrew is with his mother, helping move our daughter back home. She's about done with her first year of college, so that's exciting. Gotta get my tool. Pound some fence posts in. Probably be wise if we unhook the fencer first before we start on it. Yeah, she's a little hot. All right, me and the lunch lady got the electric fence post pounded in there. Now we're gonna do our best rodeo impression here. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Up. 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 Come on, cows. Up. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. Up. Lunch lady in action. Up. Up. So already got the electric wire ran right there, so once we get them across, all I gotta do is put it back on the electric fence post. Up. And we'll be set. Up. Don't really care if there's a calf out here, to be honest with you. Calves will go underneath the wire anyway. Up. She's overachieving, folks. Told her to wait, but she wouldn't. Well, lunch lady did good. Even got the wire all wrapped up. It's a little hairy. I didn't want to film it, so I didn't. But now I got the cattle locked up here on the dry lot until we take them out to pasture in a few weeks. We got a plant where the rye was at. That's going to go into corn this year. This will be corn this year as well. A couple videos back we saw brother chasing the cattle around with the liquid machine, so got our panel set up so we got a nice funnel for when we set the cattle out through the chute over that direction. Looks good. We'll give this a week to dry out all the manure that's on there, then we'll drag it so the grass comes back better. Be all right. I gotta put this thing away. I gotta make sure I turn the fence on too, because the fence is not hot. So I'll plug that fencer back in. That's in the pig barn. Fencer's hot. That should keep the cattle in. Let's go till some dirt. So the reason me and the lunch lady picked that up, the wire and electric fence posts, because this needs to be tilled up right here. We're planting the rye and the cattle we're just at. Brother is on his way home with the planter. He finished up the last field that he was on. He's gonna hit this right here before he goes and continues on further north to other fields that we have. But as he's coming by, he wants to make sure he gets this in. So we're gonna put the field cultivator down. Probably make 2 passes on this, make sure the rye stays dead, it doesn't come back. This shouldn't take very long at all. We did go around it twice to make sure we got all the wire and electric fence posts picked up, because I really don't want to find it with the field cultivator. Looks like I wasn't fast enough. Brother's got co-op out here spraying his bean stubble. I really don't like to till ground up unless if it's 100% needed. That's going to stay no-tilled, obviously. There is a residual and a contact herbicide there applying to give the beans a head start. Soybeans will be planted on that side of the field over there. Oh, that's kind of cool. Some co-op out here. Got a co-op tender truck right there coming down the hill. He carries water mostly and a little bit of chemical for the sprayer operator that's right there. A lot of field work going on. There's a globe up on top of the tractor. You can't see it now, but it's white. It hits the GPS signals from up in the sky. That tells us exactly where we stopped planting at. So like right now, brother's backing up where we just started at. It's not gonna plant there because it's gonna show this area as being planted already. It's not gonna start planting until he gets within 2 inches of the end of this row right here. Which is all good and dandy. Unless if like what happened to John Deere 2 years ago, where all their satellites went down and nobody could plant. We don't have auto steer on the planter, which is why he's sticking the arm out. Not that he really even needs the arm, but it's kind of like a safety blanket for him. Dig in the dirt a little bit, make sure we see seed in the ground. See worms. There it is right there. There's one. Two. Three. Well, it's planting. Cover that back up, give it a chance. I'm going to leave brother here to do his thing. I'm going to take the big tractor up to the goldenrod farm. I got to fill in some ditches there. That was the same farm that me and Andrew were at last week, because after brother's done here, that's where he's heading next. So always try to stay one step ahead of the planter. So I'm over here by what I'll call the goldenrod farm. Put my wings down on the field cultivator. Already made one pass through this ditch right here, you can see going up the hill. I had the wings folded up for that to try to get down in the dirt a little bit more. Now I'm going to go over it once or twice with the wings down, try to even this out, because there ain't no way that brother would be able to plant through this ditch right here if that was the way it was. It'll probably wash out again anyway, but at least for planting purposes it'll be nice and smooth. There's a pretty big culvert up there that goes underneath the hill, underneath the road I should say. It's hard to stop all that water. All you can do is try to contain it. Don't have the money right now to run a pipe, which is what should be in here, all the way to the ditch down here, so that way it flows back to the north, but that's all right. Like I don't really need to bury the field cultivator. That means sticking in the ground as deep as it'll go. All I'm trying to do is even out these places where it's a little rough to make it smooth for the planter. So I'm just lightly scraping the top of it to even out the seed bed. You can tell how rough it is just in the track as I'm sitting in it here, bouncing around a lot. Unless if my camera stabilization's on point, I doubt it. But you can see just how nice and even after I just lightly scrape it once. That leaves that seed bed. Like I said before, I'm not doing it all, so that's it for that pass. As I'm sitting here in the tractor and we're burning almost 5 gallons an hour running this thing at $4.50 a gallon. I really don't want to burn any more fuel than I have to. I talked to my agronomist a little bit ago about this specific farm. He agreed that we should spray it. We're going to do a 2-pass program on it. First pass, glyphosate, atrazine, and dicamba to get rid of this tall mustard weed that's in here, to try to preserve soil moisture as much as possible and erosion of the dirt. That's what we're going to do. We'll probably cut back the pass of glyphosate on the second pass. We will need 2 passes on this farm just because there are weeds in the ground. They just haven't emerged yet. So we'll do the first pass, the heavy burn down, and then come back when it's a 2 or 3 leaf corn plant, the hit of the second pass. So, or to keep the dirt where it's at is probably the best choice. And to save some of the nitrogen that's in this dirt as well, because this mustard weed ain't doing no good other than sucking up the nitrogen that's there. That's just wasted money then. I think I'm done here with this farm. I've done all that I need to do, which is the bare minimum. I'm gonna head to another farm that's south of the church farm. It's about 10 miles south of here, so better get going. Neighbor Jeff is getting ready to go plant some. Field cultivating corn stalks is way different than doing bean stubble. That shouldn't be here. There's a lot more trash. What we call trash, corn stalks, corn husks that haven't degraded over the winter. So you got to be very careful about not plugging the field cultivator and dragging the corn stalks with you. There's a stupid amount of iron buried on this farm. So I'm going to walk this real quick before I drive through here. Last thing I need 7 miles from home is a flat tire, so get out and do a little walkabout here. I need to stretch my legs anyway. This was sprayed. Co-op did come in here and spray this for brother, but obviously we got waterways in here that are canyons, so I need to come here, touch them up just a little bit. The planter will flex through this, but not through that. That is definitely a lot better. That canyon's gone now. This dirt is so soft. It's like a garden. Got just a little more touching up to do in the back there for brother, and we'll head her home. Putting some of that high dollar diesel in. Got some more goodies for the pigs. Let's see what we got. More donuts. They love donuts. Don't you guys? That's how you get sweet and smoky bacon. And then we got some sweet spicy chili Doritos. That expired March 25th. I won't tell you what year. Whew. I think those are going to pigs. Good morning. Standing out here this morning in our first planted field. 2 videos back, we don't start planting on a Sunday. We didn't start planting on a Sunday. We started planting on Monday. That was 13 days ago. Corn plants are up. We're starting to row, obviously, down the rows. Everything looks really good here. I'm not going to worry about the indrows as far as population goes, but as you walk in here to more of the straight rows, we got really good emergence. Not too worried about that. There's probably a plant coming in there yet. But the population looks really good. Pretty exciting. Farmers are the eternal optimists, hoping for a good crop. And obviously this is the first step. Back in the tractor this morning, brother just took off with the planter to go and plant the last bit of our corn for the year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, so we don't have to replant anything. I'm going to take the field cultivator literally across the road. My piece of ground. I'm going to till that all up. I like to till my ground because it warms the soil up. Yeah, we lose a little bit of soil moisture that way, but it gives the beans a really good start. And I guess I'm a gambler, man. I think we're going to have rain to help that bean shoot up. So I'm going to go till this up. Brother will be back by the time I get done. We'll switch the planter over to beans. Hopefully be able to pull the drill out of the shed, see if we can stick some beans in the ground. The reason I feel comfortable tilling this, there's not a lot of residue on it from corn stalks from last year because we baled most of the corn stalks off. As you can see, it just gently slopes both directions around the neighbor's house. That piece of ground's included too there. So I don't think I'm going to have high erosion or beans swimming to where they shouldn't be. That's why I feel comfortable tilling this up. The only problem I usually have on my ground is the water coming down the hill here from the road and the gravel washing in. So you can see right there's some gravel sitting in the field, but usually for projects in the summertime we come and dig that out. So gonna unfold my wings, scratching some dirt. Something caught my eye as I was field cultivating here. What in the heck is this? And why is it literally in the middle of the field? Huh. Comment below with your guess of the heck you think this is. Wow, look at all these worms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good dirt. 5, 6. It's tilling up really nice. Pulling the weeds up right by the roots. That'll die, obviously. Put some organic matter back in the dirt here. The corn stalks aren't tilling over as nicely as I would like, but that's just going to have to be the way that it is. All in all, I'm happy with the job we're doing.
You came along and lifted me up. The going got tough, but the tough got some love. Foolish notions, foolish lies, foolish notions that made me wanna cry. Goodbye.
I'm all done dirt scratching. Tractor's fueled up, parked, ready for the next job. Need to go to our Pioneer dealer and pick up another seed tender. Yes, we do have a seed tender sitting right there, but that is a Bayer seed tender. Seed dealers don't like it when you share between brands, so we're gonna go pick up one from our Pioneer dealer, or Corteva as they're called now. They'll always be Pioneer to me. So I'm gonna grab brother's other pickup, run over and grab that one. We're still keeping that tender that's over there because we got 3 boxes of Connect seed that we have to plant, soybean seed, but this way we'll have everything on site for when we start beans. Well, what seems 6 hours later, but is really 2. Got all the bean units changed out on the Kinsey planter so we can plant beans with it. Found 4 bearings that were shot. They're cooked. One was on the seed metering rolls. That bearing was seized on there. Ended up having to cut it off even after we heated it. Cut it off with an angle grinder. Smoothed the shaft back down. Shoved the new bearings on there and she's golden. Another one on a trash wiper, that bearing was out. That's pretty common. That's an easy fix. We had those bearings on hand. So brother just took off to the first field of beans that we can plant. I say that because Co-op just sprayed our corn stubble. We have to wait 48 hours before we put beans in there because they sprayed it down with 2,4-D. Have to let that work through the system before you can plant beans. So he's headed off down by the church farm. I'm going to take off the black pickup with the seed tender on it that we have. Let's go see if we can catch it. Planter's full. I'm going to take the seed tender back home in case there's any moisture tonight. Put it in the shed. Brother's going to go for a little while yet. So I got home last night and had a letter in the mail from the United States government, official business only. This is what it said. That's right. The 2026 Farm Bill has passed the House. It's gone on to the Senate now for their vote, which they're expected to get. The Farm Bill is $1.4 trillion with a T, and only 20% of that is for ag programs or producers. SNAP is the biggest cost in the Farm Bill. Food for thought. I say food for thought kind of tongue-in-cheek because what makes America great, to borrow a phrase from our president, is our food security. We don't get that from a bag of Doritos. We don't get that from a Totino's pizza. If that's your diet, I'm not going to judge. But our greatest food security comes from small farmers like us. People that raise pork, beef, grain, poultry. It's people like us that make America great. Yes, we get subsidies sometimes. I don't ask for the subsidies. You know who's asking for the subsidies? It's not farmers. It's the farmers' creditors. Farm Credit Services America, John Deere Financial, they all have huge lobbies in Washington. And you know why? Because they want to get paid. They don't give loans out because they like doing business with farmers or because they're okay to accept some losses. They want to get paid. That's how they make money. That's how they impress their stockholders. So if you judge farmers by the subsidies they make, you're barking up the wrong tree. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on a rant, but there's just so much bad information out there on farmers. Somebody has to speak up. I want to make sure that my son has a future like I have and is able to enjoy it. And if I don't try to change that narrative, who's going to do it? I was at a conference earlier this winter, and the speaker said something that has stuck with me, and it's very true. We are 2 meals away from anarchy in the United States. If people don't know where their next 2 meals are going to come from, you can bet there's going to be riots in the streets. We are so fortunate to be able to live in the land of plenty, where we're able to export our excess and have cheap costs for the consumers in the store. So support your local family farm. If not, who will support you?